I found a hidden phone inside my hotel room. My name is Ethan, and this happened during the summer of 2023. I travel a lot for work. Most of the time, it means long drives, cheap hotels, and endless nights away from home. After years of traveling, hotels stopped feeling exciting. Every room looked the same. The same beds. The same televisions. The same boring hallways. So when my company sent me to a small town in Colorado for a 3-day project, I didn't think much about it. I booked a room at a small hotel located just outside the town. The reviews were decent. Nothing special. Nothing suspicious. At least that's what I thought. The first night was completely normal. I checked in around 8 p.m. The lobby was empty except for an older man working behind the desk. He barely looked at me while handing over the room key. Room 214. Second floor. End of the hallway. I grabbed my bags and headed upstairs. The hallway felt strangely quiet. Not eerie. Just empty. Almost like nobody else was staying there. When I entered the room, everything looked normal. A bed. A desk. A television mounted on the wall. Nothing unusual. I ordered food, watched TV, and eventually fell asleep. Around 2:30 in the morning, I woke up suddenly. I don't know why. There wasn't a sound. No nightmare. No phone notification. Just a strange feeling. The room felt different. I sat up in bed and looked around. Everything appeared normal. But something felt wrong. Like I wasn't alone. After a few minutes, I convinced myself I was being paranoid and went back to sleep. The next morning, I left for work. The entire day went smoothly. By evening, I returned to the hotel exhausted. That's when I noticed the first strange thing. My suitcase had moved. Not far. Maybe a few inches. But I was certain I had left it against the wall. Now it sat slightly angled toward the desk. I stared at it. Then laughed. Maybe housekeeping moved it while cleaning. That had to be the explanation. Or at least that's what I told myself. Later that night, I sat on the bed scrolling through my phone. Eventually, my charger cable slipped behind the nightstand. Annoyed, I reached down to grab it. My fingers touched something else. A second phone. An old black smartphone. Covered in dust. Hidden between the nightstand and the wall. At first I assumed a previous guest had forgotten it. But when I pressed the power button, the screen turned on. The battery still had 38% remaining. What I saw next made my stomach drop. The lock screen showed a photograph of my hotel room. Not a stock image. Not another room. My room. Room 214. Taken from inside the room itself. I unlocked the phone. There was no password. The gallery contained hundreds of videos. Hundreds. Most were labeled only by dates. As I opened the first video, my blood ran cold. It showed a man sleeping. In a hotel bed. Recorded from a hidden angle near the television. I opened another. A different guest. Another room. Another night. Then another. And another. Dozens of guests. Dozens of recordings. Some sleeping. Some changing clothes. Some talking on the phone. Someone had been secretly recording hotel guests. And judging by the dates, it had been happening for years. Then I opened the newest video. The timestamp was from the previous night. My heart nearly stopped. Because the person sleeping in the video was me. As I sat in my car that night, staring at the hotel one last time, I realized something terrifying. The hidden phone wasn't the scariest part. The hidden cameras weren't the scariest part. The scariest part was knowing that someone had been watching people for years, and nobody had any idea it was happening. To this day, whenever I check into a hotel room, I inspect every corner, every smoke detector, every mirror, and every electronic device. Because sometimes the danger isn't outside your room. Sometimes it's already inside. And sometimes someone is watching. If you enjoyed this true horror story and want to hear more disturbing mysteries, creepy encounters, and terrifying real-life stories, make sure to subscribe to Noxvale Stories and turn on notifications so you never miss a new upload. Thank you for listening. And remember, some stories stay with you long after the video ends. Good night.